Hi, this is Jamey from Stonemeyer Games, and I'm here today to talk about my favorite game mechanism in a game called Cockroach Poker. Cockroach Poker was introduced to me by the guys at Shut Up and Sit Down, not personally, just through their blog a few weeks ago. And I loved a certain element that they highlighted in their blog entry, and that element is indeed my favorite mechanism of the game now that I've played it a bunch of times already, because it's a very quick, easy to learn game. I don't have it here because one of my friends borrowed it for a trip he's on right now. But the Cockroach Poker is a game where you have this big hand of cards and you're trying to not accumulate cards in front of you. You can, on your turn, you take a card from your hand, you slide it face down across the table to another player, and you tell them that it's one of the 8 card types. There's like a cockroach, there's a fly, there's a spider, there's a scorpion. You say, this is a scorpion. And that player has kind of 2 options. The first option is to decide whether or not I'm telling the truth. They can say, okay, I believe you. I think that this actually is a cockroach. Or they can say, I don't believe you, this isn't a cockroach. And whichever way they guess, if they are correct in what they guess, then the cockroach or the card goes back to me face up on the table. If they're wrong, the card goes face up to them on the table. The other thing they can do is they can peek at the card, they can look at it, and then they can give it to someone else who hasn't already received the card, and they can say kind of whatever they want as well. They can say, you know, Jamey's right, this actually is a, what did I say, spider? Jamey's right, this is a spider. Or they could say, Jamey is lying to you, don't believe Jamey, this is actually a cockroach. And then that player has the same 2 choices, unless it's the last player to get the card, and then they have to call true or false. They can't peek at the card. And the game ends when someone has 4 of the same card in front of them. So if I end up having 4 spiders, the game immediately ends and everybody else wins, which is kind of an interesting mechanism in itself, that the game is kind of set up to make a lot of players feel good and only one player feel bad at the end, which is clever. There are a lot of winners and only one loser. The game plays 2 to 6. I think we've even played it with 7 just for the heck of it. And the other way you can lose is if you run out of cards in hand, because whenever you end up taking a card, it's your turn to pick a card from your hand and pass it on to somebody else. So if you are taking more cards, even if you're not accumulating a set of 4, you're getting rid of your hand of cards faster, accelerating the game and making you more likely to lose. All of that is kind of context for what I think is the brilliant mechanism in it, and that is that you get to lie together with other people, and you get to have secrets together with other people. This is in stark contrast to a very similar game that I kind of have a love-hate relationship with called Skull. Or Skull, one of the 2, Skull or Skulls. In Skulls, you are lying to other players and you're kind of getting screwed over by other players. But there's no common secret. There's no common, you're not really lying together. You're lying to everybody else. Whereas in Cockroach Poker, when you peek at that card that someone else has already told you this is a spider, you are suddenly in on a secret, which it feels good. It feels good to be in on a secret. So you get to figure out if you are in on that secret, and then you get to either lie together with that person or kind of pretend that player is lying. Maybe you're lying, maybe you're not. But it becomes this group. I don't know if there's a word for it. It's a group lie. You're lying together with a bunch of people, or sometimes you're not lying at all. You're telling the truth, and you're just in on a secret with a bunch of people, and that feels good. Like, there are very few games that do that. I guess maybe the closest comparison I can think of is games like The Resistance or Avalon, where there are teams of people who are in on a lie, and you're on the same team throughout the game, lying with the same people throughout the game. Cockroach Poker is even more unique in that the people you're lying with constantly shifts around during the game, and the people that you have secrets with changes throughout the game. So I love this mechanism. I would love to see this in another large group game of this style, because it feels really good to have a secret with other people and to lie together with other people rather than just you lying to like each other individual at the table. If you can think of any other games that do this, I'd love to hear about them. I'd love to try them out. And I'm curious about how this mechanism can be explored in future games. Thanks. That's Cockroach Poker for you.